This video is about celebrating 50 years of struggles, from getting the old centre built, getting resources fit for purpose, and becoming a unique and celebrated community education and development centre. One that Jeremy Corbyn, on a recent visit, said,
"This is an iconic centre, heard about around the world for the brilliant work it does, the space and opportunity it gives people."
That's a massive turnaround from my early days, when it was made clear I joined a police network, as the centre was seen as part of a joint police and community council group which had been set up post the 1981 riots. So, restoring trust and confidence was an early challenge, as was our early attempts to get the requisite funding, which was systematically blocked by county council officers, and our paper about At the Crossroads, the role and purpose of an inner city community education centre was effectively ignored.
The uprisings, I don't think you could isolate it to Leicester, but Leicester was affected by last year's events in every sense of the word. That there was 3 nights of rioting in the town.
There's a generation of young people in Britain who have a substantial proportion amongst their numbers who are very alienated from the society that they live in. And a lot of that obviously is related to the level of unemployment amongst those young people and the sort of hopelessness that they see in the lives that they lead.
The Highfield troubles were in exactly the same area as the summer riots of 1981. Fortunately though, last night the locals did not join in.
Residents here are not in the habit of joining in on the bandwagon of somebody else's action.
Do you think it was an organised riot last night?
Certainly the action that was initiated by those people who came into the area may have had some relationship to some leaflets that were circulated in the area suggesting that the problem with riots were black people, and to resolve that one needed to get rid of black people. There was a suggestion in the leaflet that a meeting was to be held outside the community centre last evening. We communicated that information to the police and also communicated our great concern.
The task force's priority is to do something for the youngsters, so community projects will receive immediate attention. Most local people, however, are sceptical about the cash. They feel it's simply not enough.
Most important method that any centre head had any idea of as to how he could help the people that were around the catchment area of that particular centre.
I just feel that all the hard work that's gone into making that centre a better place. I mean, it's grown and grown in the last 10 years that I've been there. That to have it taken off of us for no valid reason, it seems so unjust.
Today, members of the Highfields Community Association called on the council to think again.
This would destroy the activities at the centre, which has had a track record for the last 21 years.
Tonight is a occasion for us to celebrate a very significant success. Thank you for everybody who supported us over the past months and years, for that matter, in our struggle to maintain the independence of this centre. I think that people have to understand that a week ago last Monday we achieved a tremendous achievement. That we took the County Council to the High Court in London in the struggle our independence as a community centre, and we won.
One thing they don't like is people like us having a say, people like us understanding what we are saying, people like us demanding our rights, our very democratic rights. They never like that.
The centre's original constitution had been unilaterally changed by the director of the Leicestershire County Council in 1977, with powers now invested in the County Council. Our long journey back to community governance was made possible by the onset of lottery funding, and it took us over 13 years to raise £5 million, gain formal approval from Leicester City Council for proceeding with the project, complete the redevelopment of the old centre into the new Highfields Centre, and bring it all under community governance. This was finally achieved in December 2010 and celebrated at our independence event in January 2011.
Sir Peter Salisbury, the then MP for Leicester South, made some very pertinent remarks.
The big society doesn't exist in a vacuum. It exists as community governance here, I hope, will prosper. It exists with support, with resources, with practical help, with a climate, a culture that gives the support that is needed from the local council, in our case the City Council, from the other public agencies, and there are many of them who serve the Highfields area. They must all work together to make community governance, the independence of this centre, something that sees it continue to prosper, sees it continue to be at the heart of the community, sees it continue to serve the community in the future.
Drawing an analogy with our countries of origin, we refer to us achieving our political independence and then the need to commence our journey to economic independence. That latter journey commenced with a rapid growth in our turnover, activities and staffing levels.
Back again at the Highfields Centre. The work of the Highfields Centre in this community is absolutely vital. As the local Member of Parliament, Prius, to say, the work that you do, the work that your staff do, the work that the volunteers do here is absolutely brilliant, and I will always be here as a friend of this centre whenever you need me now.
In July 2015, he took a decision to cease all funding to us and remove just over £500,000 in vital community services from a Highfields centre.
Very much hope that it'll continue, because I was, at that time, an MP, but I was supporting them when they were campaigning for self-governance over 3 years ago now, and was very pleased when they got what they describe as economic independence from the council at that time. And of course, also very pleased that the council agreed during this 3 years, while they were getting themselves established, to put in what in total amounts to well over £1 million.
Over the 50 years, we've become the community anchor, rooted and serving its local communities, but linked to citywide, regional, national and international developments. But it was all put at risk when the City Mayor refused to renew our funding contracts with the Council, and we lost over £500,000 annual funding. A death knell for almost all charities, but with our economic effective successional and extendable measures, which we coined as EASY, we rebuilt our operation and successfully faced down his subsequent grab of our lease.
In August 2016, we were granted a major Party Change Award for building improvement work. The conditions of the grant required us initially to obtain a permissions license from the Council, and this was secured in November 2016.
We will be naming the lounge Garden Lounge.
In early 2020, the COVID-related downturn caused further challenges, but again come through that period, not least with the setting up here of the first indoor COVID test centre in the country. Our post-lockdown recovery is still fraught with challenges, but it's also enabled us to develop some new arts and fashion workers advice bureau services, with the latter being sponsored wholly by clothing brands and unions. So, we remain confident about our future plans, and it's reflected in our 3 E's and CDUC murals, being now displayed on our external walls, and which refers to enhancing lives, empowering communities and enterprise for all. And CDUC refers to celebrating diversity and unity in the community. With our well-connected, well-complemented and established partners, we trust you will help us over the next 50 years to continue and expand these wonderful and unique opportunities to make the much-needed and positive difference to the lives of our local communities, and especially its racially minoritized members. Thank you.